Late night, July 4th, 1943. Kursk salient, German Southern Command. Field Marshal Erich von Manstein stared out the window. Before him lay thousands of tanks and assault guns waiting. A staff officer entered with his report. "Marshal, all units have reached attack positions." Manstein said nothing. His finger traced the outline of the salient on the map. What was going through his mind in that moment? In his memoirs, Manstein recorded his doubts about this operation. The Soviets know everything. His fears were well-founded. Intelligence networks, reconnaissance, even British decryption intelligence. The Soviets had grasped the broad strokes of Germany's plan with remarkable precision. On his desk lay an order from Hitler. Begin the offensive. Delay is unacceptable. Manstein had opposed this order. It's too late. The Soviet forces have completed their preparations. But Hitler wouldn't listen. The new tanks have arrived. We will win. In Manstein's mind, two choices clashed violently against each other. Option A, cancel the offensive, commit to defense, right-pointing arrow. Hitler's fury, possible removal. Option B, launch the offensive as ordered right-pointing arrow. Heavy casualties, victory uncertain. Choose A, and his position would be at risk. But needless sacrifice would be avoided. Choose B, and he would have followed orders. But they might lose history's greatest armored battle. Manstein closed his eyes. And then he made his decision. His hand signed the attack order. 3:30 a.m., July 5th, 1943. The order was given. All forces, commence offensive. At dawn, the bombardment began. Thousands of tanks and assault guns surged forward as one. An earth-shaking roar convulsed the plains of Kursk. Hitler's hopes rested on the new tanks. Panther. Tiger. Cutting-edge armored forces. But the Panther was untested in battle. Mechanical failures plagued them. Many stalled on the battlefield. Numerical superiority didn't translate directly to combat power. But the Soviets were waiting. Multiple defensive lines, hundreds of kilometers deep. Anti-tank ditches. Hundreds of thousands of mines. Nearly every detail of Germany's offensive plan had been discovered. Marshal Georgy Zhukov, Supreme Commander of Soviet forces. He stared at the map. The Germans are moving exactly as planned. From July 5th to the 11th. The Germans continued their blood-soaked advance. 1 week, a mere 20 kilometers. Every day, hundreds of tanks were destroyed. Every day, thousands of soldiers died. Then, July 10th. Far away in the Mediterranean, history shifted. The Allies landed in Sicily. Hitler stared at the map. Italy will collapse. We must redirect forces to the west. The Kursk offensive suddenly ceased to be the top priority. And then, July 12th. Prokhorovka. German tanks, approximately 300. Soviet tanks, approximately 600 to 800. One of history's greatest tank battles began. Soviet tanks charged forward. Point-blank range. 50 meters. The T-34 commanders knew. Fire from distance, and the Tiger's armor won't pierce. We must close in. The plains of Prokhorovka became hell. Artillery fire. Explosions. Flames. After hours of savage combat, the steppe became a graveyard of burning tanks. Evening fell. The battlefield fell silent. The Soviets in particular suffered catastrophic losses. Hundreds of T-34s were destroyed. Yet Germany failed to break through the defensive lines. Recent research has revealed that German tank losses in this battle were minimal. However, the strategic defeat of the operation as a whole could not be reversed. July 13th. Manstein stood before Hitler. He pressed his case. "Führer, we must continue the operation. The enemy's reserves are nearly exhausted. If we stop now, we throw away victory." Hitler stared at Manstein. And then he answered. "The Allies have landed in Sicily. Italy will collapse. We must redirect forces from the east. The offensive is cancelled." In that moment, the Kursk offensive ended. And with it, Germany's offensive capability on the Eastern Front. 50 days of battle. Casualty estimates vary by counting method. Whether to separate total losses from damaged tanks, how far to extend the operational scope. But one thing is certain. Both sides spilled blood that could never be recovered. Manstein knew, this is the end. We can never take the offensive again. After Kursk, the initiative on the Eastern Front passed decisively to the Soviets. Meanwhile, Soviet forces launched their counteroffensive. Victory at Kursk gave them confidence. We can win. From that point on, the initiative belonged to Soviet forces. Hitler's gamble had failed. The armored forces lost at Kursk would never be replaced. Kursk was the turning point of the Eastern Front. From that point on, German forces remained on the defensive. From that point on, the possibility of victory vanished. July 5, 1943. The day one of history's greatest armored battles began. It was also the day the end of the Third Reich began. So what can we learn from this story? First, the value of intelligence. Through espionage, reconnaissance, and code breaking, Soviet forces understood the offensive with remarkable precision. Information decided the outcome. Second, the importance of timing and resource allocation. Manstein argued for continuation. But Hitler chose a different crisis: Sicily. Third, the loss of strategic initiative. After Kursk, Germany could never launch another major offensive. The forces lost could not be replaced. So I ask you this: history only records outcomes. But those who lived it didn't know the results. If you were in Manstein's position, would you have continued arguing for the operation? If you were in Hitler's position, which would you have prioritized, East or West? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for witnessing this moment in history with me. 50 days when thousands of tanks clashed at Kursk. It was one of humanity's greatest armored battles, and a story that teaches us the weight of decisions and the value of intelligence. At Turning Point History, we continue to bring these turning points of history to life as human dramas. Subscribe to join us on this journey of learning from the past and thinking about the future. Turn on notifications so you never miss the moment when a new door to history opens. Until next time.